Hello, how are we doing? Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the live stream. Where are you going now? You're getting up. You were just laying down. Just because I'm starting to speak, you want to get up? Can everybody hear me? I'd love to get some thumbs up that everybody can hear me before we get going here. That would be awesome. Oh, she's out. Audio good. Thank you, Scott. How's everybody doing today? Got some big news yesterday, and a lot of people aren't taking it very well, and I can understand. And it's I got a lot of things I'd like to say about this, but I've got to be careful. What's that? No, I want to be careful. Sometime, what do I want to say here? Here's you watching me struggle as to what to say. I mean, I got a couple slides put together, but I don't know if I want to start with that. Okay, for those of you who don't know, the rules of the game have changed. If you want to get monetized by YouTube, you now need 8,000 watch hours over your last 365 days, and that's a moving window. Each day advances. 8,000 watch hours, which sounds like an enormous amount, but over a year and across all videos on your channel. And the old rule was 4,000 watch hours. And I'm not trying to say, oh, 8,000 is not that much. I mean, I know a lot of you have been struggling to get to 4,000. You're trying to get monetized. That's a milestone. That's a goal you've set for yourself. And I think it's a great goal to have. So that has just changed. Not just, actually. It doesn't change until February 1st. Okay, so you've got time. And if you get monetized under the old rules, the 4,000 hours before then, you can get monetized and then you'd be grandfathered in, right? So there's that. In addition to that, and I don't talk about this as much because I don't tend to focus on shorts, but the requirements for shorts has also gone up from 10 million shorts in your last 90 days to 20 million shorts in your last 90 days if you are a shorts channel and that's how you want to grow your channel. The subscriber account has not changed. It's still 1,000 subscribers you need to start earning ad revenue. And that reminds me, I should point out, you actually get monetized at 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours, but that's not the ad revenue, which is the bulk of what most people earn from YouTube. The 500 subs, 3,000 watch hours, that's tier 1 or what they call fan funding. That's where you can start to accept super chats in live streams like this or super thanks in your videos or memberships, or it opens up the shopping system. So all of that, that is not affected. Okay, it's only the ad revenue sharing. So yeah, I see it feels very overwhelming. And I've been going through the comments. So I made a video about this yesterday. Right after I saw a video on it myself, I watched vidIQ's video. That was my first like, oh, really? And I started watching it. And I mean, you know, when you see these videos, nothing against vidIQ. I love vidIQ. But whenever you see a video with a title that's like, oh, wow, that just does not seem right at all. And then you click on it, like maybe it was clickbait, but it wasn't. It was like this, it's the real deal. So then I dug into it and then I made a video about it. And many others have made videos about it since. Because it's a big deal. It's a big deal for those of you, in the 2,000 to 4,000 watch hour range that has been trying to get to 4,000. But I want to try to kind of reset the perspective today. And this is where I need to be careful. I don't want to say, oh, don't even worry about it. It's not a big deal, right? That's not going to land very well from me, someone who has, 100,000 subscribers, and this is probably not going to affect me at all. So I don't want to come across as insensitive, but I do want to kind of set the facts straight because I truly believe this is not as big a deal as many of you think it is. And I think I've been trying to rack my brain because I've been trying to explain this in my videos for a couple of years now, trying to kind of dissect this watch hour thing and how do you get there and how does it actually work? And a lot of people don't know exactly how it works. And it's been hard to explain it to people. It's like 4,000 watch. I mean, where you are right now, and when I say you, I mean anybody who's trying to get monetized and you're not yet, but you're doing this YouTube thing. I was there, and I will say that if I got this news when I was at, I don't know, 2,000 watch hours, and then all of a sudden the goalposts move from 4,000 to 8,000, I would have been upset, and I would have felt like, what? Like, what are you doing? And I may have quit. I mean, as you guys know, I've quit several times on my journey, and that might have resulted in me quitting. But I'll tell you, it's like you don't know what you don't know until you get there. I created a spreadsheet, which some of you have downloaded, my stats tracker. I include a link for you to download it if you want to do the same thing I did. And I used this stats tracker to track where I was at every month. And I did that for like 3 years. Well, I still do it, so 5 years now. But for the 3 years, 3.5 years before I got monetized, I was doing that and I was logging how many watch hours, how many views, how many videos did I make, and all this stuff. And I had it right down to when I was 2 or 3 months away from getting monetized, I knew it was coming. Right? I started to project. And I remember in April, I would say, by mid-June, I'm getting monetized. No matter what I do, like it's happening because I'm now doing live streams every week. I'm doing videos, 3 videos a week. I can see the numbers start to climb up. And I knew it was going to happen. And it ended up happening almost to I guess maybe a couple weeks before it happened. Because I was constantly revising my prediction, but it happened when I thought it was going to happen. Now, what I need to explain is that this all happened, and me getting monetized all happened before I had my viral video. That happened about a month and a half later. All right, my viral video is not what got me monetized. It certainly helped my channel, but it's not what got me monetized. When I got monetized, I was not a channel that made how to grow on YouTube content. Okay, I never made any videos like that. I thought I wanted to in the future because that's what I wanted to do. I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel, and it's a slow go. It's been 3.5 years. I'm making Camtasia tutorial videos is what I was doing. And, what was I saying? Yeah, I was not telling people how to grow on YouTube. I didn't feel like I had the right to tell people how to grow on YouTube because I hadn't done it myself. And so yeah, it was my Camtasia. And you may be thinking, well, Camtasia tutorials, like who uses Camtasia? Anyways, no slight against Camtasia. I still use Camtasia today, and I love it. But it is not one of the more popular software apps out there for editing your videos. It's kind of a niche product. I love it for what I do. But because it's kind of a niche product, my market potential, I thought, that's kind of small. Like, how can am I going to be able to break out there? Well, I can tell you it was happening, and it happened, and I got monetized. And my first full month, I think I made $250. The first partial month, I think was 30. Okay. That was all Camtasia stuff. So me just trying to grow this channel. Anyways, where am I going with that? Yeah, I guess I'm saying that in response to people who think the only way to grow on YouTube is to make content where you're trying to convince people to grow on YouTube. I've been getting a lot of that lately. And I do not think the niche I'm in is the best niche to be in at all, right? There are other niches doing far better than this one. It just so happens that the people who watch my videos are people who want to grow on YouTube, and you're watching people who have been successful on YouTube, and therefore maybe you start to think that that's the only way to get successful, right? It's almost like it kind of feeds on itself. And yes, I just saw a comment here, the Creators Classroom, 250 to some is nothing, but to some it's life-changing. It could buy a medication that's needed. I get that. I 100% get that. And again, that's where I just need to, I don't want to say, it's only $30 a month. Like what, don't even worry about it. I get that. That's a lot to some people, and depending on where you live, right? Or if you're retired, that could, fill up your tank of gas for the month. So I get all of that. But what I don't love the way they did, like this just happened kind of out of the blue, and it caught everybody off guard. And I don't think people fully understand what it means, other than what you see in your own stats. So where should I go next? Knowing that I'm trying to be sensitive to that, I do still want to try to explain away your fears. And I guess what I think people need to ask themselves is, why are you doing YouTube? Is it to get monetized? Because if your goal is to get monetized, and under the old rules, with some quick math that I threw together, just getting monetized and staying there, I figure that on average would probably bring you about $30 a month. Okay, in my case, that's what it would have been. I would have earned $30 a month at 4,000 watch hours, and if I stayed steady at 4,000 watch hours forever, it would roughly be $30 a month. And YouTube only pays you when your balance is up over 100, so I'd have to wait 3.5. It'd be every 4 months or so that I would get a $100 check, is the way that would work. That's getting monetized, okay? If it's 8,000 watch hours that you need to get monetized, well, then that's about $60 a month, okay, at my RPM and view duration and that kind of stuff. So again, not what I would consider life-changing. And, if that was your goal, then I understand. If $30 a month was your goal and you just wanted to bring in an extra 30, even $100 a month, I can understand being upset. If your channel is growing, you will blow past that. Like you will, if your channel continues to grow and you do YouTube the way I suggest you do YouTube, and that's constantly trying to get better, constantly trying to feed your audience the videos that they want to see, you will get better and you will grow. And, and I know it's hard to understand. If you know what logarithmic is and means, that's kind of how this typically goes. And again, when I say typically, I almost shouldn't say that, because there is no typical. Like, everybody grows at different rates. I want to show you two things that maybe might put this in a little bit more perspective. I'm just trying to look at which slide I want to show you first, and I think it's this one. All right, so on the screen here, I just threw this together in the last hour, trying to think of ways to explain this. The top half of this shows, it's my case, okay? $7.44 RPM. That is what I average, okay? So if you don't know what RPM is, that's basically what I earn per 1,000 views. And it's a calculation based on what actually I earned. YouTube doesn't set those. They don't set those amounts. They happen based on an auction system when advertisers are bidding on putting their ads on videos. Okay, so YouTube doesn't decide what they're going to charge advertisers or what they're going to pay out to creators. That's all kind of written down. Now, I say that. YouTube pays 55% of what they collect from advertisers out to creators. I suppose they could change that in the future, but they never have. So 55% of what they collect. What do they collect? That's not decided by YouTube. That's decided by the advertisers. It's an auction system where they bid on, it's complicated, but they bid on keywords. And if their ad's not getting shown as much as they want to and they have more budget, they increase what they're willing to pay, cost per click, that kind of thing, or cost per CPM. Everybody out there, all the advertisers out there are constantly bidding against one another. And what comes out of that is what YouTube ends up collecting, and they pay 55% of that out to creators. So that's why the RPM number jumps around a lot. It's different for different videos. It's different for different niches. It's different for different months of the year, right? Like advertisers typically pay more in the months leading up to Christmas, for example, right? Maybe not in all niches, but in many. So that But anyways, that is my RPM. And at 4,000 hours, if I were to do the math, that works out to $30 a month. So I explained that 8,000 hours would be $60 a month. 744, you may think that's high. It depends on your niche. Got a fly flying around here. You know, your RPM could be anywhere from $1 to $25, really. It could be anywhere. Gaming, vlogging, that kind of stuff tends to be on the lower end, where financial aid stuff, fitness, how to make money, that kind of thing tends to be on the higher end. 744 is where I land. If you are at $2, $3, or $4, well, then I've got those amounts there too. The $60 becomes, that's based on the 8,000 hours, becomes $16 a month, $24.32. So my point in showing you this is just to kind of show that 8,000 hours doesn't equate to a lot of money, and kind of think about that when you're deciding what your goal is with YouTube. If it's to be successful with a YouTube channel, and like some people tell me they eventually want to quit their job, or they want this to be their primary source of income in retirement. Totally valid and attainable goals. But you're talking about tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of watch hours per year. Probably, hundreds of thousands of watch hours per year, not 8,000. Okay, so let that maybe kind of recalibrate yourself a little bit. I don't know. Do you know where I'm going with that? Like, does that help at all? I get that it sucks if that was the goal you were trying to reach, and now it may seem unattainable. Let's say you hit 2,000 watch hours last year, and now you're at, 2,500, right? And you just have not seen enough growth. You may be tempted to kind of map that out. Well, if I'm gaining 500 watch hours per year, that's 3 more years. And oh my God, 8,000, that's now another, I've got to add 8 more years to the, like, it doesn't work that way. And I'll tell you why. When you start out on YouTube, you're a beginner. Okay, everybody is. I was a beginner. I didn't know what I was doing when I started. I tried to figure it out. And it took me a long time to figure it out. It took me 3.5 years before I started to get traction. Okay, so I was not good at understanding how it worked. I was not good at making videos. I was not good at editing. I was not good at speaking on camera. I was not good at figuring out what my audience wanted from me. None of that stuff was I good at. You learn as you go. So for me, 3.5 plus years of learning, I picked up some stuff, got better at editing, got better at all the things, right? Where I'm going with this is the more time you do YouTube, the better you get at it if you keep trying to get better. Now, many people think that the more videos I make, the more potential earnings, right? I can earn more earnings. I can get closer to getting monetized. That's not the whole story. You also have to get better at making videos. You also have to get better at giving your viewers what they want. Okay? So I don't, when people think all they have to do is make videos and just show up, and it'll happen. It doesn't work that way. Like, that might be the way a job works. Like, just show up to work. And some jobs you don't have to do much and you're going to get a paycheck. YouTube is not that. And I think you understand that. If you want it to be successful, you need to be doing things. You need to be looking at it as a business. And I hesitate a little bit to say that because I know not everybody wants to do that. Some people, you may be one who's sick and tired of me saying, don't even rely on YouTube AdSense. That's not how most successful YouTubers make their money. Most of them make their money off of brand deals and sponsorships, courses, coaching, and all the other things that you could do. And you might be there thinking, but I don't want to do any of that. I just want to make videos and make money from AdSense. That's all I want to do. And I get that. That's fine. That is totally fine. Not everybody is, being a business owner is not for everybody. I get that. That's totally fine. And you don't have to do any of that other stuff. But just know that YouTube AdSense alone you have to attack it differently, right? You still have to get better at making videos that people want to watch. Just making more of the same thing isn't going to do it, right? You put up a video, an average video, and let's say it brings in 50 views. Great. YouTube's waiting for another one now. Like average videos tend to peter off and not get any more views into the future, right? And I know I've said in the past, like, every video you upload is a little mini asset that could earn you money forever. And technically that's true. In practice, it doesn't always work out that way. If you end up creating some videos that end up being evergreen type videos that, things that people search for, then yeah, they can turn into ever earning assets. And that's awesome when that happens. Evergreen videos are awesome, but not everybody is out there making evergreen videos for search. So, but there has to be something. You have to be upping your game. You can't just keep doing the same old thing. If you do that, if you keep upping your game and commit to yourself to get better at this, not just making videos, but get better with each one, you will grow. And you will, if you pass 4,000, it's only going to be a month or 2 or 3 before you pass 8,000. I can't tell you, well, I can show you. I can show you how quickly, again, I'm a little hesitant to show you that here. I'm going to show here. Let me share this. This might help. So, let me get rid of that. Not sure if you can see this or not, but this is my stats tracker, and I purposely cut it off at the bottom at the end of June 2024 because my first video where I started talking about, I think you should start a YouTube channel was July 5th of that year. But up until June 2024, it was just Camtasia stuff. And I want you to pay attention to this column here, okay? This is the watch hours per month. Okay, so in April 2024, I got 800 watch hours in 1 month. Okay, that is when things started to turn around for me. I was around 200, 100, 200, like well below 300 for most of my time throughout 2023. And it wasn't until right here when I started making videos and live streams that things started to go up. Went up to 324, 800. Now, when I show you that, and then 1,300. So now let me just pop back to this page here and put that on screen. The second part of this are my numbers. March 2024, 325 hours. Understand that to get to 4,000 watch hours, you need to average 333 hours per month, okay, over the course of a year. With the new rules, 8,000 is 667 hours per month. Okay, so it's doubled, yeah. And I think some people think that means it's going to take twice as long, but that is rarely the case. That would only be the case if a couple things. Number one, you never try new things and you just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. Or number two, if you had 1 or 2 videos go completely mad, viral, right? And then you never followed that up. And you're back down to where you were, which happens. That happens. There's nothing wrong with that. But that could also, right, result in you, maybe getting monetized and then not. So, so for me, in March 2024, 325 hours. So I wasn't quite at the point where I could project that out to getting monetized. But then in April, 800 hours. Okay, well above what I need. So if I keep doing that for a year, that's even over 8,000, isn't it? May, 1,360 hours. June, 2,000 hours in 1 month. Okay, again, all Camtasia stuff that hardly anybody was watching. I was getting, I think my best video at the time maybe got 5,000 views, but most of them were like maybe around 500, right? But I was doing a lot. Okay, so look, I don't know if that helps. Sharing my own story, and showing my numbers. I know I went viral in July. I'm just not showing that right now. But this should be enough to show you that. So, and here's my trailing 12 months, my watch hours. I was at 2,700 hours for most of that year. And then it started to climb when the 800 that climbed to 3,400. And then boom, 4,500 over the previous 12 months. I got monetized May of 2024. And I made $37 right here. And then 6,400 hours, I made $200. So that's just sharing my journey. And that's the reason why when I think 4,000, 8,000, okay, for me, that might have meant, looking at those numbers, it might have taken 2 more months to get monetized, or maybe 1 more even. But either way, it was going to happen. All right. So I don't know. I don't know if that makes you feel better. It still sucks. Again, but I think the focus, understanding what 4,000 watch hours versus 8,000 watch hours actually translates into in terms of earnings, $30 a month, $60 a month, right? And that's assuming you get there and stay there, right? Usually you get there and you continue up and keep growing from there. Usually when you get monetized, that's your foot in the door and it goes up from there. If it doesn't, if you get your foot in the door and then you're worried about staying there, because I've heard some people say to me, 4,000 watch hours, like, okay, maybe I can get there by February, but staying there? And to me, I listen to that and I think, staying there isn't automatic. Like if you get there, if you're at 2,000 now and you get to 4,000 by February, you'll be at 8,000 by probably March or maybe April, May, right? Because your growth would have picked up, unless it's just one viral video that did it for you, right? If that happens, then that's a spike and you're not really there yet. Okay? Does that help? I don't know. I'm trying my best to kind of change the perspective here, and because I don't think it's all doom and gloom. You guys probably have a lot of questions, and I haven't even really been looking at this. I've been doing all the talking, and I apologize for that. But if you have questions, feel free to ask, and I'll type QQQ here, and I see some people have. Okay, well, first of all, right here, Rob, how many watch hours do you have in the past 365 days as a 100,000 sub? I will tell you. I can just look at it. As of at the end of July, so mine, I have 1 line item per month, so it only makes sense when a month is ended. So at the end of July, my previous 12 months of watch time is 311,580 watch hours in my last 12 months. So over 300,000. It has been as high as, that's 2 months earlier in May, 3 months, April was the highest it's ever been, 320,000. Okay, so good question though. That's a good question because it might kind of reset some expectations as to show how it can grow. I'm showing these numbers now. So here we were back at when I got monetized here in May. I was at 4,500 watch hours. That's when I got monetized. Then it was 6,400, 36,000. But again, I tried to think about how can I remove that viral video out of these numbers just to show it without that video. And it's pretty much impossible because when you have a viral video, people after watching that will watch other things. So everything gets a boost from that. But that's been the worst. That's been the lowest my trailing 12 months has been ever since then, right? It up in the 100,000s, 200,000s, 320 it peaked there. So yeah, that's where it is now. It's not a concern. Not a concern. That's what I want to stress. Like once you get there, if your goal is more than just getting monetized, if your goal is to build something, and maybe like if your goal is to make $1,000 a month from YouTube alone, and you don't get into any of the course selling and affiliate sales and all that stuff, you just want to earn from YouTube and you want to make $1,000 a month. I think that's a great goal. And if that's your goal, this news doesn't affect you. Does not affect you in the least. It might mean your first $30 check or even $100 check is 2 or 3 months delayed. That's all. But then it'll continue to go up. And I often tell the story of after I got monetized, that stats tracker that I just showed you, that spreadsheet, was basically my Bible. And I would like trying to work out like how many more when am I going to get monetized? How many more videos? And what do I have to, how many views and all this stuff? I'm trying to figure it out. Once I got there and then blew way past the 4,000 watch hours, I don't think about watch hours anymore at all. Now it's views, right? Before you're monetized, you think of watch hours because that's the hard number to get. But after you're monetized, it's views because that's how you get paid. How many views you're getting. That's a more accurate number, a more accurate representation of how much money YouTube will pay you based on views. Not just that. Obviously, the longer the video is, maybe there's mid-roll ads and all this stuff. I get that. But yeah, watch hours is not even a thing. Shorts. So I haven't talked as much about shorts because I don't focus on shorts myself. I use Nexus Clips. It does them automatically for me, and I'm not trying to go viral with shorts. You kind of have to go viral with shorts if you want to make money with shorts. And the amount of money I make from shorts is like $1 or $2 a month. It's nothing. It's not nothing. Very little when compared to the rest, my long form videos. So yeah, they've changed the rules on shorts too. Instead of 10 million views over the last 90 days, so that's different right off the bat, you need 20 million views now. And furthermore, if I understand it correctly, a channel like mine who earns from long form, I do get a few dollars here and there from my shorts just because I'm monetized. But now I don't think I'm going to anymore because I don't get 20 million or even 10 or even 1 million views with my shorts. So yeah, I guess looking at this on a whole, this might affect me by maybe $1 or $2 or $3 a month because I won't get any money from shorts anymore. Because you have to maintain at least 10 million shorts views every 90 days to be paid anything from shorts, even if you're monetized through longs. That's the way I understand the way it was written. More details may come out as as more and more people digest this. Heidi, I'm curious to know what the monetization requirements were years ago. I have no idea what they were. In some time, we'll forget what the current requirements are. That's right. So I'm not the best person to ask that because I've only really been in this game for 5 years. But from what I've heard other people say, I believe there were no requirements at all in the beginning. I believe it was an invitation-only thing when it started. And then maybe it was, 1,000 hours or something? Honestly, I don't even really know. I know it's been 1,000 subs, 4,000 watch hours for a long time. I want to say going back to 2017. I don't know why that number's in my head, but I probably shouldn't even guess because I don't really know. Yeah, that kind of leads me into like, why are they even doing this? And they've got 1 or 2 sentences in there that kind of basically they're saying, because of how fast or how much YouTube has grown, we need to increase these limits to keep pace with the growth of the platform, both from a content creator perspective and a viewer's perspective. The platform is so much bigger now than it was back in 2017 or 18 or whenever the current formulas were put in place. I don't know, tenfold, 10x the number of videos on the platform, probably even more than that. 10x the number of channels probably. Again, why am I throwing out numbers like that? I don't even know if they're accurate. Yeah, it's grown a lot. It's grown a lot. And lately, as a lot of you know, there've been problems. They've been having problems with what they call AI slop, or just slop in general. Actually, it would be great if they just called it slop and not AI slop, because there are some AI videos that aren't necessarily slop. But what YouTube is having a hard time with and trying to get rid of is sloppily done content that anybody can slap together with no effort. They don't want that. They don't want their platform turning into that. They don't want it. So yeah, this kind of comes back to a video I made a little while ago where I said something to the effect of YouTube doesn't even really care about their creators. That might sound a little harsh, but in reality, like, if this change results in half of the people who are not monetized giving up and quitting, that's not going to affect YouTube really at all. Okay, that's, there's plenty of content on the platform and plenty of new content coming on the platform all the time. The small creators don't matter that much. They do want to provide a way for small creators. Like it's kind of cool that small creators have a way to get monetized in the first place. Like that's kind of cool that even exists. I'm not trying to say, well, you should be happy even if it's 8,000. I'm not trying to say that. But the reality is, like I've seen some comments, people saying, well, we should just all the small non-monetized people should just stop making videos. Well, that's not going to happen because there's so many people making videos that aren't doing it for the money anyways. How many people do you think are monetized that have between 4,000 and 8,000 watch hours right now? It's probably a lot. Like a lot of people are probably right in that 4,000 to 8,000 watch hour territory right now. They're monetized and they're making between $30 and $60 a month, right? So they're not making a living from this, right? It's only, I should have figured it out, but you're probably 100,000 watch hours a month before you're making enough to make a living and do this kind of full time or in a meaningful way. So I guess what I'm saying is going from 4,000 to 8,000 doesn't really affect them, and they're not making the kind of money that I think most of you want to make anyways. So I don't know. I've said this probably several different ways, and I don't know if any of these ways is resonating with you. At this point, maybe I should just say, kind of open the floor. What are you thinking now? Like the way I've explained some of these things, has that helped at all? Or are you still pretty dejected? I'd love to hear. Question, are you the exception or the average? I have the feeling you are the exception. There's really no way for me to know that. Average is a funny word because I don't think it applies to YouTube at all. There is no normal. Like it's not, I don't believe it's like a perfect bell curve situation, whereas, most people, when they get monetized, are making this. I suppose you could do an average, but I believe there are so many outliers on both ends of the spectrum. All I can base it on is what I've seen from others, stories I've heard from people I've talked to, people who I coach, and things like that. 30,000 watch hours, I just kind of picked that number out of the air. But, if you're doing this YouTube thing and then all of a sudden you come out with a video that really resonates with people, boom, 30,000 watch hours like that is what you could do, like in a month. And then boom, you're monetized. I knew somebody who I talked to, I had her on this program or on this, in a live stream a couple of years ago. She was at around 1,000 subscribers, but not monetized. She come out with a video that gets 5 million views. Boom. She makes like 10 grand or something. I don't even know what it was, but got monetized just like that. And so there's a lot of truth to when people say you're only one video away. That's true. One video can do it. You might be looking back at the last 2 years. It took you 2 years to get 500 hours, 1,000 hours, 300 hours, whatever the number is, doesn't even matter. That's 2 years of you learning how to do this YouTube thing, and which means you are 2 years closer to maybe having that breakout video, or maybe figuring out exactly what type of creator you want to be, what types of videos you want to be, what types of videos start to resonate with your audience. You're closer to that goal. Does that help? Let me get in here and see if there are any other questions. What do you use for your stats? YouTube Studio? Can you go back in time and collect them? Yes, you can. Yes, I do. Yes, you can. I use YouTube Studio. You can go back in time. If you go to the... Actually, yeah, it might take me a little long to do that. But yeah, if you go into YouTube Studio, go to your analytics, you can change the date and you can go back to the very first date. And you can set a custom date. Show me the views from here to here and pick your date range, right? And you can look at your views, your watch hours, the new subscribers you got in every month, right? I might have told a little bit of a lie when I said I've been doing this stats tracker from the very beginning. It might have been about a year in when I created that, and I went back and I filled it in for the first 12 months or so. That's exactly how I did it. So there you go. What if someone makes another platform for small content creators to grow easier? I don't think it would work. I think YouTube is too big. YouTube is the standard. That's where the advertisers want to go. That's where people go to watch. There's always going to be fringe, apps spring up here and there, but I don't think I think YouTube is too big. I don't think, and when you say grow easier, like I question what would be an easier way to grow, right? Like you would need a platform with billions of views, and that doesn't happen overnight. You can't just, right? And people aren't going to, you have to understand this. It's only the people who are under 4,000 watch hours who are upset about this. Okay, and who are really disgruntled about this and feeling the pain. And again, I understand that feeling. I would have felt it too. I didn't know what I didn't know before I got monetized. And once I got monetized and saw the way these watch hours actually come in, I haven't even talked about live streaming today. That played a huge part in me getting the watch hours I need. So actually, let that be a little tip that I'll give you. If you're in that 2,000 to 4,000 range now, even 0 to 4,000 range right now, and you want to get there before the end of January and get grandfathered in, start thinking about live streaming. And I don't mean do it tomorrow or today or whatever. Like, think about how you want to do it. You don't just want, again, you can't just flick the switch, go live, and money starts raining down on you. you need, so, I almost feel bad. I tell my story too much, but it's the story I know. And it's a good example, I think. But for me, it was decided to go live every single week and help people. Show up and answer questions. Show people how to do things. I was demonstrating how to use software. And it was related to the videos that I made. I would make 3 videos a week, then I'd go live. I'd talk about the videos I made. I'd take questions. People have questions on what I made. People would ask me or recommend or ask if I would make videos on other things. I would take those suggestions in the live streams and I'd go make those videos, or I would do a demonstration in the next live stream. It just became a place where I could help people. And when I say a place, I'm talking about YouTube, through my videos and through the live streams. But the beauty about the live streams is if you put a strategy together like that and start growing the number of people who are coming to your lives, and that will happen if you're always being helpful to people, and if new people see that you're being helpful to old people or people last week, they'll come the next week and they will ask a question. And then more people will see that you're answering questions. Then people will start to watch it on the replay. And once the chat becomes available on the replay, it takes about 12 hours, but then they'll see that, oh, you're answering questions in the chat. Wow. And then they'll see that you're also answering questions in the comments. More people subscribe and will come and will watch your live streams. You get 10 people watching you for an hour in a live stream, 10 times 1, 10. That's 10 hours of watch time. Boom, just like that. Okay, 100 people, 1 hour, 100 hours, right? Do that 4 times a week, 400 hours. That you're monetized. Not right away, but you know what I mean. That's where, not going to happen overnight. Never happened with me overnight, but it slowly picks up steam the more you do it. So live streams, add that to your strategy, and if you want to grow your watch hours, and that will help. If you want to grow your subscribers, because we're not even talking about subscribers, they never moved that goalpost. That's still at 1,000. But if you're having trouble, some people get the watch hours before the subscribers. Not everybody, but I'd say most get subscribers first. But anyways, if you need subscribers, start asking people to subscribe, right? Some people, it's not necessary to subscribe anymore to see somebody's video or to see another video from a channel you've watched, because YouTube is tracking what you watch and they're going to feed you what they think you want to watch anyways, subscribed or not. But the reality is, if you're a creator, you want to get monetized, you need the 1,000 subscribers. So if you're having trouble getting there, just remind people at the end, middle or end of your videos, get in the habit of saying, hey, if you're not subscribed, I'd love it if you did. I'd love to get monetized and you'd really help me out and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, do it however you want. Don't do it at the beginning though. That's kind of cheesy and people don't love that. It turns people off. It causes people to leave. If you will ask for a like and a subscribe and comment below before you even get into what you're talking about. There you go. How can I create that stats document you made? Because I don't collect my numbers. How can I get the numbers? Well, you have to enter them manually, or that's what I did. You don't have to. If you're savvy enough, or if you feel like getting into Claude Code, you could create a program that'll do it for you, link it to your YouTube studio and whatnot, and you could probably do that. It's probably a good idea, actually. I haven't done that myself, but I'm sure some people have. But that involves getting into AI and Claude Code and things like that, right? But yeah, but the way I do it is manually. Like at the end of every month, I enter those numbers in. So let's see now. When you say watch hours, is that total watch hours across all longs since starting one's channel, etc.? Yes. So yeah, that's a good point. So when they measure watch hours for the last 365 days, it's from all the views you got, even if the videos that they're viewing were made 3-4 years earlier. Doesn't matter. If they were watched within the last 365 days, that watch time is counted. Okay? That's important. Qualified watch hours. So if you then unlist or private a video, those don't count. They got to be publicly available videos. That's what they count. Okay, so that's actually important. What would you say is the key to a breakout video to move past low 2 to 3 digit views? There's really no key. That's a tough question. It's the fact that you've done something that results in people enjoying all of your video, and then maybe perhaps watching something else. So that could be that you gave good information, you didn't waste people's time, you gave it nice and concisely, your personality shone through in your videos and people just enjoyed listening to you speak, right? That's a factor, right? Come across as nice is the way I mean, I guess that's not necessary. I mean, some people can be jerks in their videos and people like that, I guess, but right, whatever you do, it's got to be something that people enjoy and they stick around and they watch it all, because YouTube will see that and say, oh, okay, good video. Let's show it to more people like her, like this person who just watched it, because maybe they will too. It's in YouTube's best interest for you to succeed. Remember that too. They want everybody to succeed. Now, there's only so many impressions they can give out, obviously, but they want people to succeed, because if you succeed, that means people are watching your video, and ads are getting impressions, so they're making money, and when they make money, you make money. Okay, so. But yeah, the keys, I mean, there's some rules of thumb you can follow, like get to the point really quick in your video. Don't make your videos any longer than they have to be. Just get to the point, give your point, and then sign off. It doesn't mean your videos have to be very well edited at all, right? Like I've seen some people be successful with videos that just looked terrible. Like, wow, the quality was awful. It wasn't even HD. It was like watching a television in the 80s. The quality was bad. The audio might not have even sounded all that good, but oh, guess what? People watched it and they watched it all. They wanted to watch all of it. And that is the key. So whatever you got to do to make that happen. And usually the best way would be to analyze your audience. Like who are you making videos for? Who's been watching your videos so far? right? Try to identify them and what are their interests? What are they showing interest in your videos? You know, a good place to look for clues is your comments section. You know, what comments are they leaving you? They might tell you exactly what they want you to make next in terms of a video. If you don't know, you could even go into your community post and you know, launch a poll and ask people, what video should I make next? And maybe you have 4 ideas and you can list all the 4 ideas and ask them to pick A, B, C, or D. And then, you know, give them what they want. So yeah, but then so yeah, those are some ideas. I hope that helps. Is that a combined 10 million combined on shorts? Is that a combined 10 million? Okay, so I'm not exactly sure what your question is, but you need 10 million shorts. Sorry, now you need 10 million shorts views in the last 90 days, and it's going to be 20 million come February. In the last 90 days, views. When you're talking about shorts, we're not talking watch hours at all. They don't care about the hours at all. So it's shorts views. And I don't know exactly how they count them. Like, does it have to be 3 seconds before it counts as a view or not? I'm not sure. I should probably look that up. But again, I don't really focus on shorts. But if your focus is on long form, then the whole shorts thing doesn't even matter to you. It doesn't matter. You don't need anything in shorts. Just focus on your long form. And the reverse. If you want to focus on shorts, you don't have to worry about the long form either. Just focus on what the shorts requirements are. What if I have the watch hours but not the 1,000 subs? Will I still be subject to the new requirements if I don't hit enough subs before February? Yes, you will. Because the way they worded it is, so you're not monetized, or you're not monetized for the ad revenue yet. You have to be monetized for the ad revenue before February 1st in order to be grandfathered in. So yeah, so if that's your situation now, then I would focus on trying to get subscribers, right? And so you could start asking people for some and just continue to make good content that your audience would like to see. Perhaps some content that might reach out to new people that aren't, you know, your regular viewers. But it's usually the way you do that is you make a video that your regular viewers all really love and watch it all, because that's the signal to YouTube to, you know, try to find more people for this video. Yeah, and it wouldn't hurt to ask them to subscribe towards the end of your video. Do you usually get monetized due to 1 or 2 viral videos or multiple videos? So I would say the most common way is not with a viral video. I don't think most people don't get a viral video, and if they do, it may or may not happen before they're monetized. So I would say the norm would be not from a viral video, but from steady growth. And so that's the way I think you should approach it anyways, through steady growth and just trying to get better and continue to get better. Because then you won't plateau. You will just continue to grow, and then the 4,000, 8,000 thing won't matter as much. Hey Rob, how you doing? I'm doing great. David, how you doing? So do you know why the change? Why the YouTube has made the watch hour so high? I'm just clear on why that happened. So their explanation is that it's because of the growth and just trying to keep up with the growth of the platform. I can't help but think that part of it might be to do with all of the AI stuff that they've been having to deal with. That's probably part of it. The bottom line is this. YouTube wants the videos on their platform to be of high quality, and that means people are watching them. Doesn't mean they're highly edited. It means people are watching them. That's all that means. They want the platform perhaps to have a higher percentage of those types of videos. So raising it from 4,000 to 8,000, you know, many people who don't know exactly what that means, and perhaps they think that it just means it's going to take twice as long to get there, which I don't agree with, they may leave. And frankly, YouTube is probably okay with that. But also some people who are thinking of doing this with AI or slop type content, many of them may leave as well. And, you know, YouTube is really okay with that. All right. So here's something else to remember. The only thing this changes, the 4,000 to 8,000, is when you start getting monetized. The actual math doesn't change. So the amount of money somebody is monetized gets per month is not affected by this at all, except if this results in an overall increase in the amount that advertisers are bringing to the platform. If that happens, then there's more money to be sliced around to those who are monetized. Okay, so I suppose if you look at it that way, it could affect people, but not by a meaningful amount, I wouldn't think. So my guess is the platform is just getting too huge. It's probably also very difficult to deal with so many people monetized. And imagine the people who are between 4,000 and 8,000 and monetized. Again, they're not making that much. Most of them aren't seeing a paycheck every week, right? Because if you're making $30 a month, you're only going to see money from them every third or fourth month anyways. So administratively, it's probably a lot more work the way they're doing it now. And maybe at 8,000, it cuts down on that a little bit. But yeah, I guess time will tell. We'll figure out what's going on. Jason, how you doing? At first I was discouraged. Now I'm motivated to get my 1.5K to 4K, so I'm grandfathered in at that level, working on my fourth video in fourth week. That's a great way to look at it, Jason. Great way to look at it. But let me tell you this, okay? You're a perfect example, Jason. If you're at 1,500 watch hours today in your last 12 months, and if you do make it, even if you don't make it, but if you make it to 4,000 watch hours, so in other words, you increase by 2,500 watch hours in 6 months, you're going to get to 8,000 in less than 6 months after that. Okay, so you will be on this trajectory. Okay, that's for me. This is for you. On this trajectory, you're going to be going up. And if you make it, great. If you just miss it, it's coming. Okay, so I think that's a great way to look at it. It's a great goal to try to achieve. But if you even come remotely close to getting to 4,000, even if you only get to 3,000, if you double from where you are right now, from 1.5 to 3 in 6 months, you're on your way. And it's only a matter of time. Because to do that, you will have had to have upped your game a little bit, make your videos a little bit better, become a little bit more consistent in showing up for your audience and giving them what they're asking you for. You will have gotten a little bit better at all those things to get there, right? That will compound. That'll compound, and people forget too, all those videos you're making while you're getting better, those videos are better than what you had before. So when you get new people, they go back and they watch those. That's why it tends to, for you guys, tends to not just go up linearly, it tends to go exponentially, right? Not forever, but I mean, it could. Well, no, I guess probably it couldn't, but does that help? Because I think that you're a perfect example of, I would be distraught if this resulted in you giving up, Jason, because you can do this. You can do this. Is it worth it to promote a video you think is good but hasn't moved much organically? Absolutely not. No. Do not get into promoting. Don't do that. I mean, that's just going to kill your channel. That will stagnate your channel. Like that, do not do that. I can't stress that enough. And it's more important now than ever, really, right? If it's important to start growing our watch time, like that is a watch time growth killer. If you promote your channel by whether you do it with money on the YouTube platform or you go to Facebook or Twitter or wherever and tell people about it, don't do that. Like you need to concentrate on reaching your audience within YouTube. You need to teach YouTube who you're trying to reach. And that can't happen if you just throw money at it or tell people about it. You need to teach. The only way to teach YouTube is to keep throwing new content at them that was thoughtfully crafted and made to be right. So what is your best tip missed the beginning. It's not just about ad revenue, but also about the perks like membership shopping, integration, and having the podcast and shows feature going live. So I'm not really sure what the question is. But I'll take the opportunity to, so I'm one to quite often say not to focus on YouTube ad revenue because that, if you end up being successful, it's not going to be because of the ad revenue. It's because of something else you do, whether it's a podcast or shopping or affiliate sales, brand deals, whatever else you decide to do. But I want to also I am aware that not everybody wants to go down that lane. Like a lot of people just want to make videos and they want to get money from YouTube. And that's totally fine. That is totally fine. But that changes what your focus should be. If your focus is going to be on the ad revenue, well, it doesn't really change. It doesn't really change. Yeah, it's a hard one to, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I don't know what, it does change what because if you understand that YouTube revenue is not going to be the main driver, then you don't tend to get as wrapped up in the 4,000, 8,000 watch hours, whatever you need at this point, because that's not going to matter. Because all that matters is how quickly do you go from $30 a month to $60 a month, right? If you're looking beyond that, whether it's through these other means of gaining revenue or just through YouTube, then those shouldn't be of concern. So we come back to the tips. My best tip would be keep getting better at making videos, right? That's the best thing you can do. Keep getting better at making the videos your audience wants to see. So before you can do that, you have to identify who your audience is. So get clear on who you want to make videos for. Before you do that, you need to understand, if you have no idea what you want to make videos about, then you have to do some internal analyzing and like what are you good at? What are you able to talk about at length? If your friends come over, what do you want to talk about? Like, what do you typically talk to your friends and family about when no one's watching, when nobody else is watching? Like, what excites you? What is your passion? Things like that. Think about those types of things when trying to figure out what you want to make videos on. And then you can start making videos like that for the people who have the same interests. Okay? So that's my tips. Live streaming counts towards watch hours? Yes, 100%. They do. Unless it was a bot or a fake account watching your live stream, then those don't count. Watch hours from those accounts don't count. Do you use OBS? I don't have the greatest internet connection and my live freezes and glitches. Any settings recommendations? I don't use OBS. I use Ecamm. I use Ecamm. But your internet connection, if you don't have the greatest internet connection, OBS isn't your problem because OBS should be able to work anyways. So yeah, you need a healthy internet connection in order to do live streaming. I'm assuming you're talking about live streaming if you're talking about OBS. What I meant with average is the average from people who do this full time and really put serious time and effort in this. Do most people get an income in the range of $100,000 per year? Probably not. There's no way to know, though. There's no way to know. They don't publish that information. So it would just be, anything I tell you would just be a guess. I have heard stories where people who focus on other things other than just YouTube and start building other revenue streams, some can make well over $100,000, with less than 10,000 subscribers, right? Other people who don't do that, but they only focus on YouTube ad revenue, right? Have to bring in a whole lot more views in order to get that kind of money. So yeah, well, my channel, for example, so I usually, lately, I've been earning around $1,800 or $1,900 a month through YouTube, and that's it. So, but that, again, that's only a portion of what I do in my YouTube business. But it's $1,800 a month, and that's not nothing. But I'll also tell you, you can't even equate that to subscribers because I'm at 100,000 or 118,000 subscribers today. making $1,800 a month. If I go back, February of 2025, for example, I was at, what, 40,000 subscribers, making $2,200 a month. So I made more at 40,000 subscribers than I do at 118,000 subscribers. Okay, so there's no way to equate those two numbers together or to marry them together, because it's kind of a what have you done for me lately kind of thing. You have to keep putting out videos that get views. I'm going to take a drink. Monetized on Facebook. Should I concentrate on that platform? I can't help you with that. I know nothing about getting monetized on Facebook. I don't know what it... I didn't even really know you could. So I can't compare. I'll tell you this. If I wanted to start a YouTube business today, this wouldn't slow me down. Now, that's knowing what I know now. But if I lost this channel and I had to start over, I would start over with YouTube. Again, the math doesn't change. As far as YouTube being a platform that you can build a business on and turn it into a six-figure business, nothing about that has changed. The only thing that's changed is when you get that first, $30 or $60 a month check, right? It might be pushed out a few months. But, right? So that's the only thing that's changed. When's the last time you saw the Minglewood Band? I hear they're playing in Hubbard September. That's close to where you live, isn't it? I'd go, but I'm in Calgary. Yes, I believe you're talking about Matt Minglewood. And yeah, he plays in Hubbard's, and that's like 10 minutes away from here. I think I've seen him before there. He plays at the Shore Club down there. And he usually goes there every year. I didn't know they were called the Minglewood Band. I thought it was just Matt Minglewood. That's what I'm trying to do. Increase live stream, but scheduled. Right now, I'm trying opening card packs on Friday nights, and I want to do ancestry research on another day. Very good. Does it hurt or help to promote a quality video? I would say hurt. It depends what your video is about. If it's a quality video, then it should get organic views. Right? That's the way, that's how that's the measure of a quality video. You don't know if a video is a good quality unless it gets organic views. Now, if you're trying to sell something, then okay, then use the promote feature to promote a video that's designed to bring in sales. But if you're just trying to grow a channel, then absolutely do not use the promote feature at all. At all. Already monetized channels also still need to maintain 10 million shorts views, only if you want to get monetized by shorts. Right? So if you want to get monetized and earn money from shorts, then yes, you need, well, it's going to be 20 million views in the last 90 days. But that's not something I'm worried about, because that might mean I'll lose $2 a month now because I'm not going to earn anything from shorts. I'm okay with that. Do the hours return to zero after 365 days? No, and this is a very important point. A surprising number of people think that it's like there's a hard date finish to that, whether it's your anniversary date or the end of the year or whatever. The 365 days moves every day. So it's today is August 11th. So for me to measure my watch hours today, it's the watch hours from August 12th, 2025 to August 11th, 2026. Tomorrow, it'll be from August 13th, 2025 to August 12th, 2026. Okay, so it's always a moving window. It's not a number that can go to zero. It's always, well, unless you have made no videos and got no views for 365 straight days. Beyond the obvious, what are the triggers you looked at to tell you your momentum was building? The number of people that showed up to my live streams was starting to tick up. That's when I noticed, okay, this is cool. Like I can really start getting watch hours from this. And also, I should have mentioned, my focus at the time before I got monetized was on watch hours because I had already made the 1,000 subscriber threshold. I think I was at 2,700 subscribers at the start of 2024, something like that. So but I was not close to the 4,000 watch hours. So that's why I needed to focus on the watch hours, and part of the reason I started to do the live streams and incorporate them as part of it. Once we reach 1,000 subs and 4,000 hours, Gemini stated you only need to maintain 1,000 hours a year after that. Can you explain? Okay, you know what? That may be true. And so I have to admit, this is now I think, third time today that I've heard this. And one of the places was in actually the blog post. So I always thought that once you got monetized, 4,000 watch hours, you're monetized. But then you could be demonetized if you fell below that. And it was always worded to me as you could be. And I've heard some examples of people who did dip back below into the 3,000s, but were not kicked out of the partner program. They continued to earn money. So that just led to me to believe, okay, so what is it? Like, is it, anyways, long story short is I always just thought it was you could be demonetized if you fall below that, but, so try to stay above it. But yeah, no, I heard today that 1,000 watch hours a year may indeed be the floor. But again, I want to highlight that if you get to 4,000 watch hours without the help of viral videos, you're probably growing at a healthy rate. And unless you decide you hate making videos and you give it up, you will never fall back down below it, or certainly not down to the 1,000 watch hour level. You'll probably only continue to grow if you continue to make videos. So that's I think what people are missing. Really, it's not good to share links on other social media platforms like X, Twitter. Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. And I know it's, again, if it's a business website, then sure. Like if your YouTube channel is kind of like the home base of your business and you're selling stuff on the channel, then okay, yeah, drive traffic to it. But know that you're doing that at the peril of potential organic traffic, okay? But if you're using your YouTube channel as a marketing engine, which is what I suggest you do, and it's what I do, it's growing a community, and the bigger we get the community, perhaps the more I can grow my revenue streams, right? If you're doing it that way, then you want to grow organically. You don't want to be feeding traffic inorganically into it. How many subs are a good starting point for getting brand deals? Is 500 subs enough? If your subs are quality subs and views are up? Yeah, it's more about the number of views you're getting per videos. That's what I've noticed that brands are looking for. Like, how many views do you normally get? On average, in the last 3 months, how many views are your new videos getting? That's what they want to know before they make brand deals. The number of subscribers doesn't matter as much. Facebook group hates YouTube links. Yeah, I can imagine. What about Reddit? I wouldn't promote YouTube videos anywhere. Anywhere. Reddit, business cards, anything. Facebook people ignore YouTube videos on Facebook. Probably rightfully so, but I was thinking I could monetize in another year. Now it will definitely take longer, but earning money wasn't my goal with YouTube. The joy of creating is why I'm here. Subreddits hate YouTube. I've been banned twice for posting on them without their nutty permission. Sorry if you mentioned it, I just jumped on. Isn't the answer to keep creating that video catalog and to focus on evergreen that will remain relevant? That is one way, absolutely. Focus on evergreen, not necessarily. You know, if you can have, you know, make an evergreen video every once in a while, or try to, I think that's good. But the answer, I think, is yes, just to keep creating, but not just to creating the same old way you always create. You always need to be trying to get better. You always need to be trying to get better, because if you're not getting the watch, like if your watch hours are staying relatively flat, let's say you're at 1,500 watch hours in the last year and you've kind of been there for a year, right? That tells me that you're not doing anything, or no, you're probably, maybe you're trying, but that tells me your videos aren't improving, okay? And you need to be doing something, you know, because even if you just kind of stay flat, how do I want to word this? As long as you consistently show up and make videos and continually try to get better at making those videos, you will get better at making videos just because of the extra practice. And if you do that, your watch hours won't stay flat. They will increase. And once that starts happening, the rate at which it happens will continue to grow. As long as you continue to keep trying to get better and keep trying to bring new things to your audience, things that your audience will find helpful. It doesn't mean make the same video for your audience every single week, because they've heard it. They don't want to hear it again, right? But maybe there's a new angle. Maybe there's another way you can say something. Maybe there's more evidence, right? Just of whatever it is you're talking about. Bring your audience something new so they know they can keep coming back and get fresh content from you. If that is your focus, not just on making videos, but making good and better videos, you will increase. Your watch hours will increase. And like when you go from flat to this, I believe that there is no this, it's this. It's either flat or it's exponential growth. And that's why I think, like and that's what happened to me. And that's what would happen to most people if it's not a viral video that does it for you. Once you blow through 4,000 watch hours and you are increasing, 8,000 is a matter of time. And you'll get to 8,000 far faster than you got to 4,000. Far fast. Like for me, it was 1 month. 3.5 years to 4,000, another month to 8,000. Month after that, it was 30,000, but that was a viral video. So I can't take that out easily. How important is it to make the content to be watched on TV and not PC or phone? It's something to keep in mind. It depends on your audience and how your audience watches content, right? So you can go into your analytics and see how people are watching your videos, right? And if you know that a lot of people are watching them on TV, then kind of keep that in mind when you're making your videos. And you may do some things like, I don't know, maybe it's not as important to make the content super big, like the text, so that people can read it on their phones. It could be smaller on a TV. Just one example. Hey, USU, I haven't told anyone about my YouTube channel. That's fine. Hey, a lot of people want to start that way, and a lot of people don't want the extra problems that come with people knowing that they're doing YouTube, and they want to do it in private, and I respect that. I was the same way. A lot of people that I know today don't know that I do YouTube. Like people I know in real life don't know that I do YouTube. I don't broadcast it. I don't. So yeah, no, I respect that. Live streaming had helped me with both subs and watch hours. I have 1,700 hours left to get to 4,000. I still post one long form weekly. Very good. Keep at it. Keep at it. Lisa, lately we started uploading 2 videos a week, and YouTube has lowered our impressions significantly for each video, and as a consequence, our views have dropped as well. Why? I don't know. I don't know. Are you doing live streams? Doing live streams? Maybe try one video and one live a week. Or maybe your audience doesn't have the time for that many videos. Might depend on how long your videos are too. If they're longer, that might have something to do with it. Question, had 920, it went down to 917. I am not looking for monetization, but I love the stats. Yeah, I love the stats too. Yeah, no, subs go down. They go down. They go up, they go down. Sometimes they go down, not because people leave, but because, I mean, it could be YouTube getting rid of bot accounts or fake accounts. And it could also, like, the older a channel is, the more subscribers they will lose because people's interests change over time as well. So older channels tend to lose subscribers at a faster rate than newer channels. Let's see. Why does YouTube give low impressions despite high retention and CTR after having posted a few videos? So it probably has nothing to do with your retention or CTR, and it probably has more to do with your, what am I trying to say? The topics that you're talking about, right? It may not be a topic that people are interested in. Or your title or your thumbnail, but no, you mentioned CTR. So but even if your CTR is good and your retention is good, yeah, if it's not something many people are interested in, then there won't be enough people for YouTube to give impressions to, right? They're not just going to give impressions to random people who have no interest in a video. Right? They're only going to give impressions to people who have an interest in whatever it is you were talking about in your video. So it might mean getting more clear on what the topic is and staying on topic in your video. It might mean researching better topics for your audience, topics that more and more of your audience are actually interested in, and that's where it may be helpful to research your competition or other creators in your niche and to see what is working for them. 3:30. So yeah, I got another 20. I'll stick around for another 28 minutes. If that's all right with you guys. Any chance you'd be willing to do a live review or coaching session of my channel? No, I don't do that. That's what I do that in my coaching sessions. Here I just take questions. I'm going to be doing more and more demonstrations, I think, coming up. Yeah. So yeah, so yeah, I know there were a lot of videos on this yesterday. I have to admit, like when I was working on a video where I was gonna respond to somebody who said in one of my videos, just gonna clean my glasses here. There was a comment that said 2.6% of all channels are monetized, 3 million out of 114 million channels. And I was gonna make a video analyzing that comment. That's all the comment was. Didn't say it was good, bad, or whatever, but there were some numbers there that, you know, some are in dispute and some just aren't accurate. And I was making a video on that. And in trying to get the numbers, doing my research and stuff, I saw that vidIQ video yesterday where Rob was talking about the new news that came out less than an hour ago. And I said, oh, what's this? And I watched that. I said, okay, I need to make a video on that. So I switched gears and shelved that other video. And, you know, that might be another couple days before I make that one now. And made this video. And the comments that I've had on this video have been a lot. And there's a lot of people pretty discouraged. And I understand it because I would have been discouraged too. If I was not monetized and I got that, I watched a video and I was made aware of the 4,000 to 8,000, I would have been beside myself. Because I remember how much I was focusing on the watch hours and the fact that I was getting close and I was calculating it and all this and, oh, I wonder how much I'll make when I get there and all this stuff. And I realized, so once I got there, it's like, wow, okay, I'm obviously not ever going to fall below it now, just based on the way this works. Now, how much, then focus switched to how much am I going to earn per month? And then it totally switched to views, the number of views that you get per video. And the focus switched to, how do I get more views? And well, I just have to keep showing up for my audience. Everything changed when I got monetized, and watch hours just kind of disappeared. I still track them because I just hate an incomplete spreadsheet. But the reality is, once you get there, it doesn't matter. That said, I completely understand where you're at if you're not monetized yet and you're frustrated. Some people are seeing this as, there's a deadline now of February 1st. But I have to, and actually what I was talking, when I was answering Jason's question, I think that's a good way to put it. If you're at 1,000 or 1,500 or whatever watch hours you're at, and you see February 1st as a hard deadline that you've got to get to 4,000 before then, right? If you even come close to that, if you go from 1,000 to 3,000 watch hours even in 6 months, if it takes you 6 months to add 2,000 watch hours, your next 2,000 watch hours might happen in a week or two. Like, it just, again, this all depends on you consistently showing up and consistently trying to get better at making videos for your audience. So in one breath, I'm saying, don't worry about the watch hours. It's going to take care of itself. You need to focus on making better videos and making them for your audience. But on the other hand, I am kind of saying, if you look at your watch hours, you're going to see that it's not going to matter. If you can grow from 1,500 to 4,000 in 6 months, 8,000 is right around the corner. It might only be a month away. And again, to properly frame this, for me, the difference between 4,000 and 8,000 was $30 a month. Okay, it's if you want to be successful with YouTube and you don't want to do the coaching and you don't want to do the selling stuff online and selling courses and none of that. You just want to make money from YouTube, from making videos. If that's what you want to do, then the math hasn't changed. If you want to be successful doing that, you want to make $1,000 a month doing that, what is that even? Here. 8,060. I'm going to do some quick math. $1,000 times 8,000 divided by 60. Yeah, 130,000. 130,000. I knew it was a big number. So now let me frame it. Let me. What I just did there. If your goal is to make $1,000 on YouTube, right? And if you believe my math, and for me this was true, 8,000 watch hours equaled $60 a month. Okay, that's 8,000. If you want to make $1,000 a month, then you want to be doing 130,000 watch hours per month. All right, 130,000 watch hours per month. That's $1,000 a month. All right, so now ask yourself, what was your goal? Are you going to be happy just getting monetized at $60 a month, or now it's $30 a month, 4,000 watch hours, or are you shooting higher? And I think most of you would shoot now. And I get a lot of people will say, "Oh, I like making videos. A few bucks here and there would be nice, but really, I do it for the love of making videos." If that's the case, great. That's totally fine. Nothing has changed for you. But if really deep down, like if you peel back the curtain, like deep down, like what do you really want from YouTube? Do you really want to make like $1,000 a month? Is that really what you want to do? If that's the case, 130,000 hours. That's what you want to shoot for. 130,000 hours a year in your last year, right? You want to get up to that point. Then you'll be at $1,000 a month and probably growing from there. Anyway. Broken record here, saying the same thing over and over and over and over again. We just got a super chat. Build with money, $5. Thank you so much. I've got to fix my graphic. It did not come on screen. Where'd you go? This one. I don't know what happened. Anyway, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Build with money. And you say this new change does suck for the newer people trying channels coming up, but they will be better by then and it will come faster than they think. That's what I believe too. That's what I believe too. Hey, tips from Tanya. How you doing? Good to see you. 130,000 watch hours is 7.8 million minutes. There you go. That's a lot, isn't it? That's a lot, but it compounds. It builds on. If you just focus on one or two videos a week, and do some live streams like that, it'll come. And remember, whenever you make a new video, like that goes into your library that can get future views too. That's also why this compounds, right? The larger your library gets, then the more viewers you come in. They actually, a lot of them will go back in your catalog and watch some of those videos. So a view you get a year from now might be worth 5 views, right? Because they're watching other things too. At 554K, another super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I started YouTube to overcome shyness and now promote creators and streamers. Any tips to increase average view duration? Average view duration, you need to be making videos that people want to stick around for more. So if you involve the viewer more, I think that's great. Like try to frame your videos like a conversation as opposed to just you giving information to people, right? Like try to involve them in the conversation. Like ask them questions, and they may ask in the comments section. You can answer them there. People will see that you're doing that, and they will like that. They'll be more apt to, more inclined to leave comments and stick around for longer. So things like that might help. I think the channels most at risk are shorts channels. That constant pressure to keep the views up is going to get a lot of them demonetized. Yeah, that could be. That could be. Yeah, and I've always looked at shorts as being a pretty tough way to make a living on YouTube anyways, which is why I've never really even focused on it. It's just not my thing. So not saying it's not other people's thing. Like some people like making short form content, but I think it's just harder to make money at that than with long form, even after these changes. Time equals money. That's right, Bill. Time equals money. Another super chat. Whiskey newspaper, thank you so much. £5. I review whiskey and bourbon on my channel. It's a very narrow niche. How much RPM, CPM could I typically expect once monetized? Any references? Thanks. Yeah, no, I don't know. If I were to guess, I might say, I might guess $5 maybe RPM. Probably maybe something similar to what I'm getting, 5 to 7, something like that. But it's different from video to video as well, right? Like my videos can be anywhere from $4 to $12. I've had some as high, I've had some up like near 16 when the more I talk about money. So like if you make a bourbon video, but you're actually focused on, how much, if you make a video on like investing in whiskey and bourbon and how much money you can make if you collect old ones or whatever, like that would probably do better RPM wise than other types of videos, right? So it's all over the map. Look at your retention graph. Flat line is great. Build with Mooney says. Yeah, absolutely. Flat line means people aren't leaving. Those who stay to the end, and YouTube loves that. Got another super chat from Billy. Thank you so much. Thanks for your channel. I'm a fragrance plant channel. Why buying subscribers doesn't go towards your watch hours YouTube promotes. Let that make sense. Yeah, no. Promoting your videos like that, I talked about this earlier today, is not a good idea because, yeah, the views you get don't count towards watch hours. It's because people didn't find you organically. You paid for the views. And, if anybody does end up subscribing from that, they're not somebody who was basically out looking for you, right? So, they may not stick around as long. They're not worth as much as a subscriber who actually found you organically. Okay, so that's why they don't count them, I guess. Monkey Wrench, can you do a demo on how to go live with equipment and apps, etc.? Trying to see if I can do that. I mean, I've done that in my course, Live Streaming Made Easy. I've gone through that. I've never really made a video on, because it's kind of complicated and it's hard to make a video like that. But yeah, I can see what I can do. I'll put that on my list. A demo on how to go live with equipment and apps. Yeah. What were the triggers? Oh, I've already answered that one. Are there any running references to see the RPMs of niches? You could probably look it up in AI or Google, and it'll give you some guidelines, I guess, but they're only guesses, really. Has your coaching business increased because of the new 8,000 watch hours? Not yet, no, and I don't expect it would. But it's just not really related. I mean, I don't know, I guess. I mean, my coaching business is not the type, I don't give guarantees. It's not the type of thing where, oh, join my coaching program and we'll go until you're monetized or something like that. It's not like that. It's basically, it's more of a mentorship thing where you kind of learn with a group of people. Sorry, I might be talking about one thing and you meant the other. I do coaching calls individually, but I also have a coaching or mentorship program, which actually I was going to announce today that the new one is coming up, but I didn't. It's probably going to be next week now. This whole YouTube news just kind of, it affected my calendar, so I've just kind of pushed everything off a week. But anyways, yeah, I'm going to be launching my mentorship program again. I haven't run it since the March to April session. The third session is going to be by the end of this month. I hope to have it off the ground by the end of this month. So if I post my video on Facebook and get views from there, those views don't count? I guess I see. I don't know enough about Facebook. If you post a YouTube link on Facebook, then the people who watch that would have to watch it through YouTube. That would count. If it's embedded, I think that would still count. Like, you can embed a YouTube video in a website, and if people watch it, even though they're watching it on a website, they are actually watching a YouTube video, so that would count. So if you do it that way on Facebook, it would count. But if you upload the same video that you've got on YouTube and you also upload it to Facebook, then no, that would not count as a YouTube view. When YouTube recommended it to the wrong videos, my retention and CTR lowered, but when it was pushed to the right people, my retention and CTR increased. Maybe YouTube algorithm is learning who to show. Yeah, so I don't know how old your channel is, but YouTube is always trying to figure out who you are, who your channel is, and who you're trying to reach. So every time you make a new video, and this brings up a point, every time you make a new video, that's a little bit extra information, more data for YouTube to understand who you are, who you're trying to reach. I've heard that some people and I don't think this was a comment on yesterday's video, but last week's video, who basically said, yeah, when I upload videos and they don't do very well, I unlist them. Like, I don't want poorly performing videos on my channel, so I unlist them. That is a horrible thing to do. Horrible, because they're unlisted, they're hidden. YouTube isn't using data from them to figure out who you are, right? Leave all your videos on your channel. As long as they apply to the same group of people you're trying to reach with your videos, even if they're horrible videos and you can make better videos today, leave them, because that's all part of YouTube. That YouTube's got that data now, right? And that's all part of them learning who you are. If you keep deleting your videos just because they didn't get the views you wanted, you will never get ahead. So it just won't happen, because YouTube can't. They can't learn from no data, right? So don't do that. Don't unlist your videos. Scott says, thanks, Rob, for handling a tough topic well. Folks are not happy, and you were doing a good job encouraging without pandering. Cheers. Cheers, Scott. Yeah, no, I know people aren't happy about this, and I understand they aren't happy about this. And I'm just trying to, I guess, put it in a healthy perspective and try to show that it doesn't matter as much as you might think it matters. But I get where the anger is coming from. Russell says, Mr. Beast has never unlisted an old video. He loves the fact they're still on his channel. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, and he's doing okay. Yeah, I get that. Question, I have Facebook and have my own group with 3,500 people. Can you make money from that? Yeah, I'm not sure. See, I don't know anything about Facebook. I can't help with Facebook. Sorry. How much do you charge for your coaching program? It's $200 an hour is what I charge. There's a link below if anybody's interested. Or you can buy a 2-pack and save. I think it's on for $347 for 2 sessions. And then there's the mentorship program, which is a better deal but more upfront. Question, America's Most Evil. Rob, I got one video going to 18,400 views, and I worked really hard on the follow-up video. It has the same analytics as the outlier video. The video didn't get to 1,000. That's not abnormal. That happens, even if it's a follow-up video. Maybe everybody got the information they wanted in the first one. Not a bad thing, not a bad idea to do a follow-up video, but yeah, follow-up videos don't tend to do as well as an outlier video, right? By definition, practically. So, all righty. Question, hi Rob, you've answered my question about audio processing a few days ago. Thank you for that. Now hearing about the 8,000 watch hours as a new channel with 4 vids, it shocks me, gives doubt to go on. Well, if you're just joining me here, I've got about 5 minutes left. I suggest watching this on the replay, because I try to explain why I don't think the 8,000 hours should be a concern if your goal was to become successful on YouTube and make a decent amount of money through the platform, because 8,000 hours isn't going to do it for you anyways. So you need to be aiming higher than that, much higher than that, like 100,000 watch hours per year or more, if you want to get up to the $1,000 a month earning level. So that's what I would suggest. So if you're looking more long term like that, then you'll understand that 4,000, 8,000 doesn't matter that much. Not that I don't understand, that it makes, it seems harsh, but it's not as bad as most people are making it out to be. Okay. Hi, Rob. I was told not to use Canva for editing. I like it because I can use my laptop or phone to edit. Do you think CapCut would make my videos better? Oh, I just put that on screen. I don't look at Canva as a video editing platform at all. It's an image editing platform that I know has introduced some video editing capabilities, but the last time I tried it, it was awfully hard, you know, to really dial in your edits. So if you want to edit videos, yeah, I would, if CapCut and Canva are the two you're considering, I go CapCut for the videos and Canva for the images is what I would do. It won't necessarily make your videos better. That's still going to be up to you, but it'll make the act of editing those videos easier. And CapCut has a mobile version as well. I think you said oh, because I can use my laptop or phone to edit. Yeah, so right there, I would probably download the CapCut app, not use the browser version, download the CapCut app on your computer, and I would do it there, 100%. Any closing comments? I'm going to have to dip out of here pretty soon. Oh, let me quickly take a look at this poll. See where we're at. So 38% are just starting and not tracking. 33% are under 2,000 watch hours. 10% are between 2,000 and 4,000. Only 19% are monetized. Okay. Alrighty. 34 votes. Wow. Wow. Lots of people in here today. That's awesome. You can do it. Outdoor Tennessean, absolutely you can. Absolutely. I only have 64 hours. If you've got 64 hours, don't even look at it. You don't even have, focus on your next video. Make that better than your last. That should be your priority. And you'll get there. No problem, Lisa. No problem, Karen. How you doing, Karen? Lisa and Karen, both over the other side of the world where it's winter time. Lisa in Tasmania, Karen in New Zealand. CL, I'm not giving up. I have too many YouTube friends. There you go. Don't give up. I love it. My shorts average 1.5K. Yeah, that's pretty much what mine do too. Gen X values, thanks for the encouragement, Rob. All my favorite mentors are staying positive, which I appreciate. That's good. That's good. And let me say this too. Part of my concern when I came to do this live today, part of my concern was, how do I explain this and how do I convince people? I don't want to try to change people's mind, but I just want to reframe it. But how do I tell you that you shouldn't worry about this too much, it's not that big of a deal, when I myself get whatever 300,000 watch hours in a year and this is not a concern to me? So of course I'm going to say that, right? That's what I struggled with. How do I speak as somebody who is actually in your shoes? So I tried to put myself back, I tried to put myself back into my own self of early 2024 when I was trying to get monetized. I had the subs, I did not have the watch hours and the things I was thinking of. And I was 100% zeroing in on the watch hours because that's what I thought was I got to get the watch hours if I want to. And you got to remember too, at the time, my Fiverr business was not doing well. It had just finished a year where it made half of what it did the year before because of AI coming on. It kind of basically took my business away. It killed my business, my freelancing business. So I was like, I want to make this YouTube thing work because I don't want to go out and get a job for somebody else. And I narrowed in on the watch hours. That's what I got to get. I got to get the watch hours. I need to start doing live streams. I need to be more helpful to grow the live streams. And I was laser focused on the watch hours for probably a good 4 months, mapping out when I was going to cross that 4,000 hour barrier, right? But again, I will tell you that when you don't know what you don't know, okay? When I was there, I didn't know what I didn't know. But what I learned by getting there and then seeing the numbers, it's like, wow, okay, I'm monetized, but I threw myself a little tiny party, but nothing else happened. It's like, okay, now I'm starting to earn a little bit of money in there and I'll get a check. And that was cool to get, it wasn't a check, it was auto deposit or whatever, but that was cool. But it was like $37 or whatever it was, right? Again, I don't want to belittle the amount because, an amount of money is worth more to some than others. I'm just saying, like where I live, my corner of the world, you need to make more than $37 a month to survive. So that wasn't going to cut it. And that's when I realized just getting monetized is not a big deal. It's not, if you want to be successful with YouTube, and in my mind, I'm thinking full-time income, like maybe $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month is what I was thinking. If you want to get there, 4,000 watch hours in a year is not going to do it. Not even close. 8,000 watch hours a year is not going to do it either. Okay, so if you're one of those people that say, oh yeah, you can say that, YouTube AdSense is not where you make most of your money. It's coaching and courses and all these other things, but I don't want to do that. Okay, if you don't want to do those other things, that tells me you just want to make money from YouTube AdSense. If that's the case, how much money are we talking? Like how much do you need to make, right? If you're retired and maybe you have a pension, maybe it's only a top-up amount that you want. If you don't like your job and you want to quit it and you just want to do YouTube, well, it's probably more that you want to make. Either way, it's probably more than $30 or $60 a month. So your sights need to be set higher anyways. So that was kind of my point. And that's what I learned once I got monetized. But I understand the feeling that you have before you're monetized because you haven't gone through that yet. Okay, so anyways, I hope I didn't upset too many people by the way I presented this, because I'm not trying to do that at all. The sky is not falling. YouTube is not going anywhere. If a whole bunch of new creators decide to leave, that is not going to affect YouTube, right? And maybe they're, it's just not. It's just not. That's not what advertisers and YouTube are really all that concerned about. It is a cool way to make money. The fact that you can get monetized and earn money by making videos is kind of neat that they give us the ability to do that. They don't have to make their business model work, right? So there you go. I mean, they could. Somebody said, you know what? I bet in the next 2 years they're going to raise it to 10,000. Well, yeah, they probably could. They may raise it to 20,000, right? That won't even change the math. If they raised it to 20,000, what's that? That's 20 divided by 8. That's 2.5 times the $60. Okay, that means they'll start paying out when you start earning at a $150 a month rate. 100,000 watch hours in the last year. Or sorry, 20,000. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Anyway, yeah, more increases could come, absolutely. But it is what it is. If you're here for the long term, so am I. If you're in it to win it, I'm here for you. I hope you found this helpful. This chat will go on for another little... Where's the kitty? The kitty. I just saw that. Where's the kitty? She's back there. She is behind me right there. Right there. Yeah. Your final points are gold. Awesome. Someone is looking for a full-time income from YouTube. More serious and motivated about my channel. There you go. There you go. Awesome. Chin up, guys. This doesn't affect anything if you were in this for the long term anyways. So if you have any questions, let me know. You can ask them. Again, this chat will go on for another 5 minutes. After that, comment section. I'm going to go back to that other video to see what other comments I have. And I do have to apologize too. I have not been able to respond to everybody in that last video in the comments. I've just been giving hearts because there's a lot of pretty passionate comments in there, and I basically just wanted to acknowledge that I hear you, I hear you, I hear you, I hear you, I hear you for everybody. And, you know, it would take me forever to go to actually answer everybody. And any answer that I gave in there, I think some people were a little bit too hot at the time to maybe fully take in anything that I might have said at the time. So I just kind of letting it ride, right? I hear you, I hear you, I hear you. I'm going to go back and I'm going to hear you and hear you and hear you again. You know, maybe I'll get back to answering everybody in the comments in the next video. But yeah, no, let me know how you feel. Comments in that video is a great place to do it. I think that's all I got. I think I'm going to let you go. Is that all right? Is that all right? Okay, next video in the next couple days, hopefully, might be more to do about this. Who knows? We will see. Thanks for stopping in today, guys. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time. All right.